All right, it is time to start working. You've got your system set up. You've chosen which system you're going to run with. You've integrated them all. You've tested them all. You've done all these different things. And now the butterflies are starting to kick in. You're going to start making some dials. Maybe you're a seasoned pro and you've made some and you're very excited to try out the new system that you just invested in. Either way, Mojo is a phenomenal resource to help you connect with more home sellers. So, you're going to log into Mojo. This is going to look familiar. You then come in and click on your list that we set up previously from one of the other modules. Once you click on that, don't worry about filtering this part. Just simply click this big old green button, Power Dialer, right here. Now, the first time that you go to set this up, you're going to want to set up your caller ID, your voicemail, all those things. This plus sign right here, caller ID to be displayed on the call will be, you click plus sign. You enter your phone number here, label it with your name, and label it with the ID that you want to show up on the caller ID when you're reaching out to people instead of possible telemarketer, possible sales call, etc. You click this checkbox for the white label option. They're going to make sure that your ID shows up the right way. This is a huge new upgrade they did recently. It's going to help people pick up the phone more. And you've got to read through some terms and conditions just to understand what the situation is. Click the box once you fully have read and agree. Click verify. Once you click verify, it's going to call your cell phone. Your cell phone will ring. You will answer the phone. It'll say, press 1 to verify this number. Press 1. That number will then show up and you will then have your profile right here. You select your profile prior to calling. Next, you're going to want to do a voicemail drop. People ask me all the time, should I do a voicemail? Should I drop a voicemail? I typically will drop a specific voicemail if I'm calling a John and there's a voicemail that says John. So if I'm calling John Smith and the voicemail says, hey, this is John Smith, then yes, I'll drop a voicemail. If I call John Smith and it says, hey, I'm not here right now, please leave me a voicemail, I'm not going to spam the message. And the typical, there's two things that you can typically do. One, you can leave a voicemail that'll say something along the lines like this. Hey, this is Josh Pono. Give me a call on my cell. Okay, the second thing you can do, all you're looking for is a callback. The second thing you can do, and I typically will take this approach, is something very specific for somebody looking for agents. And I'll say, hey, my name is Josh Pono. I'm reaching out to you because I noticed that your property did not sell. It was very interesting to me. I've reviewed the listing. I specialize in selling homes that other agents couldn't. We've interviewed with a lot of people, and what they often find is that we have the solutions to get you where you want to go next. Please give me a phone call at 619-XB, 123-4567, and I'd love to learn more about your goals and how to get you to the next space. Be well. Okay. The same thing is going to happen when you click this plus, but it's going to walk you through the setup. Click add a drop message. Okay. When you click add a drop message, you literally can scan this with your mobile phone and it'll walk you through to set up the message and it'll save it on there. You could also record it via computer, but it's better just to record it through the QR code. Super simple, easy to use. Now, once you've saved your voicemail, it's going to make you go back, select your expired, click Power Dialer, and now you can have a callback message. When you're running a multiple line dialer, there are times where inside of these boxes right here, this is for each line. This line will be dialing, this line will be dialing, this line will be dialing. And people often ask, Josh, what happens when they both pick up at the same time? Well, that's what this callback message is for. It will play this voicemail to the person that you're not on the line. So for example, if I'm on line A and I'm having a conversation and line B picks up, it'll play this voicemail. And then once I'm finished with this call, it'll pause all the other lines. Once I'm finished with this call, it'll call this person back. So what typically works well, that'll get them to pick up, and oftentimes if you play this if the voicemail plays, they're not going to pick up, that's okay. No big deal. But the voicemail goes something along the lines like this. Hey, this is Josh Pono. Hello? Can you hear me okay? I think the connection's on my side. I'm going to call you right back. That's it. Again, hey, this is Josh Pono. Hello? Hey, I'm going to call you right back. I also like to, you notice on the first one that I did, hey, this is Josh Pono. I was caught. Hello? There it goes again. I'm going to call you right back. I got a bad connection. Okay. And then when they call back, when line B picks up again, I say, hey, this is Josh again. Can you hear me better now? Like a Verizon commercial. Yeah, I can hear you. Fantastic. And then right into the script, I'm calling about 123 Main Street, blah, 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 blah. Okay. This right here, you select how many dials. I typically will recommend 3 lines going. Again, you want to have as many conversations as possible. How many rings? Some agents do 4, some agents do 5. I find 5 or 6 is the sweet spot. Some of the agents that run this program, they like 6. Some of them run 5. It doesn't really matter. Whatever you feel, go with your gut and test the 2 out. Okay. Calling script, leave that blank. Automatically show number on, nope, leave that alone. Use lead tab as default, leave that alone. Filter out contacts who have future call or appointment schedules, leave that checked. Allow dialing on linked contacts, leave that checked. And if you scrub them through, you check do not call the mobile phone numbers. Oftentimes, a lot of the mobile phone numbers are on the do not call list. You have to decide what your company's process is going to be, and you can make that choice. However, if you want to filter them all out, you click right here. Now, once you have that squared away, on the left side, okay, every day when you call the fresh ones, you click optional dialing filters. This is really, really important to understand. Okay, this is, and sometimes you're using one list or another. Clear it, it'll reset it. Call hammer, turn that on. These leads have 3, 4, 5 phone numbers, sometimes only 2, but mostly 3, 4, 5 phone numbers. If I call the first number and they don't pick up, I want to call the second one, and I want to call the third one. I want to go through the whole list because sometimes the homeowners, number 4, number 3, number 2, number 1, number 5, oftentimes 1 or 2. But the call hammer will go through the whole lead and then go to the next call. Okay. I can also say where, don't call anybody that I've already called 3 times. Only call the people that haven't been dialed all the way up to 3 dials. So I could say, give me everybody that hasn't been called more than 3 times. I can leave that alone. Typically on new ones, we're going to leave that alone and we're going to work the system. Give me all the leads that I haven't ever dialed. Give me the leads. I didn't get a chance to do my prospecting yesterday. I want people that I haven't called. Okay. Give me people that I've never had a contact with. Maybe I spoke to them. I statused them as a contact in a conversation. I want to only call the people that have never picked up my calls. Okay. Anybody that hasn't had a drop message or skipped. Okay. There's 2 filtering right here. Create date and status date. Always use the status change date. Creation date is like if it expired today and I want to call today's listings only, then I say give me everybody that is today only. The challenge with only doing the create date, sometimes there's a lead that expires for the second time. Okay, and what that means is, let's say it expired in August, they relisted it, and then it expires today. If I use create date, the lead wasn't created today. It was created in August, and it just re-expired. So what you want to do to make sure you're not missing any opportunity, because oftentimes the ones that expire multiple times are pretty good leads. Now they're really motivated. Okay, so what we'll do is status change date. Give me every lead that's called, that I want to call every fresh expired. Or, it was a weekend, I was off for the week, I want to call every lead from the weekend, etc. You can set it up to go through the whole list depending on your previous activity. But by doing it on status change, if it expired in August and it expired again today, the status change will be today and it'll pull that in there. The other ones, go ahead and leave them out. We've already done our list price qualifications. You hit OK. And then we call this list from the top. We hit start power dialer. Okay. I'm going to restart or I'm going to start fresh. It'll say, hey, out of the 3,000 leads that I have, there's 65 that match my criteria. I can see what the filters are, and I put a status change date of this. It'll show me which ones don't have phones, and it'll show me which ones are in a time zone where I shouldn't be calling. Right now, it's 5:27 p.m. on the West Coast. I should not be calling leads at 8:27 on the East Coast. Okay, once I do that, I hit power dialer. I hit start dialing. It's going to have me call a number to connect to the platform. So I will call this number. I will look to connect with them. The phone will, once I pick up the phone and I dial, it'll ring and it'll say, please enter your PIN number. You hit the PIN number on the screen and it'll say you are now connected to the platform. So if I were to do this, I would dial 1-603-792-8616. And by the way, it's going to change every time.
Please enter your PIN number. Your PIN number can be found in the dialing. You are now logged into the Mojo dialer. Please press the start button on your screen to begin calling.
Now my phone is connected to the software. Now my phone is going to make the dials. Here's a quick tip and a pro tip from Ponoisms. Take your phone and put it somewhere else. The reason why you want to do that is when you're working in the dialer, you want to hang up here. If you hang up the phone, you're going to disconnect the platform. You're going to have to start your dial session again. So you leave that on the desk, because I promise you, you're going to have a good call and you're going to be all excited and you're going to hang up and all of your work in that file is going to be gone. You're going to have to restart. So quick tip, and I've done it a million times. That's how I learned, right? Put it over there, because what's going to happen is you're going to have a great call. You're going to go, oh, I got to hang up. And you're going to go, ah, that's right. I got to work here. You hang up here, you make your notes. At the end of the call, if you contact them, you click contact. If you didn't contact them, you put no contact, go to the next number on the lead. Or if you want to go to the next record, you click, I just hit here. I'm going to go to the next lead. I don't want to call that lead anymore. If they say, hey, put me on the do not call list, absolutely no problem. I will never, ever, 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 ever call you again. So sorry for the intrusion. Be well. Do not call. Click here. Hang up. If you're working a lead and you want the dialer to stop, you click pause and it'll stop the leads from going, but it won't disconnect the platform. Feel free to watch this video a couple times. Don't worry, get in there, have some fun. It'll come at you a little quick and then you'll learn the system and the flow. This is everything you need to get going and get working. Grab your script, have it printed out, and get ready to rock and roll to go get some listings. Talk to you soon.